Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Silverwood, come join the fun. Thrills and spills that'll make you scream. Silverwood, come join the fun. Silverwood, come join the fun.
Well, hey there. Welcome to this week's episode of the Silverwood Show Podcast. My name is Sara Jean. I am your host and the PR manager here at Silverwood. And I'm here with my co-host, Jordan Carter, the Director of Marketing and Entertainment. And this week, we've got a special episode for our out-of-towners.
Yes.
Why not take a little road trip to Silverwood and see a lot of really cool things along the way? We live in a great region.
Mm-hmm.
The Pacific
True.
Northwest is just bursting at the seams with stuff to do, from national parks to different landmarks to different places to eat, you name it. So
All
what
the
are we going to
stuff.
talk from? Like Seattle, Portland.
Calgary. How do you get to Silverwood
Yeah.
and maybe make some stops along the way?
Exactly. And maybe some of our personal favorites
Yeah.
that have been tried and tested and are definitely wins. So
Yes.
we'll be talking about that here in just a few minutes. But you know what? Let's skip the Park Pulse, because do we have anything to talk about?
Skip to the mail train?
Skip to the mail train.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Mail train.
Okay, so you guys have been writing in with your burning questions about the park, and we keep getting more and more loyal listeners. If you want to become a loyal listener or ask us a question, head to silverwoodthemepark.com/podcast. But let's pick a few of our favorites from this week. I did get a question from Denise, and I'd say her last name, but I can't pronounce it.
Okay.
So
Denise.
Denise wants to know, what was it like the first time you experienced Silverwood? She remembers going as a kid for her dad's annual company picnics, and it was always a highlight of her summer. So go ahead, Jordan. What was it like the first time you experienced it?
The first time I experienced Silverwood, I was actually in high school.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Western Washington. And then we came out here for a basketball camp. I think it was at either Gonzaga or Whitworth. And we took some time as a team to come out to Silverwood.
Yeah.
And so I remember not a lot of I remember walking Main Street. I remember riding the roller coaster because I was a roller coaster junkie. And it was kind of a whirlwind just for like a one-day quick in and out of Silverwood. But I do remember like the cleanliness of the park and just how quaint it felt. So this was probably like 2000. 2005.
Okay. Did you think to yourself, like, I want to work here someday?
Well, I mean, I grew up loving theme parks,
Yeah.
right? So we would always drive down to California and hit some of those. Actually, when I graduated high school, we took a roller coaster trip around the country. We drove down to California, and then we flew over to the East Coast and ended at Cedar Point. And so I always knew that I wanted to be in like the theme park industry. Yeah. So I did I think this place specifically? Probably not for a career. Like I probably didn't think that was even possible, but here I am.
If
so
only
yeah,
you do that,
if only
you
I
know
knew.
now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, I just remember having a blast with friends and riding the rides and. Aftershock wasn't here yet, but I had ridden Aftershock in Six Flags, Magic Mountain. Yeah. It was called Deja Vu back then, but
so crazy
kind
to
of
look back.
Yeah, everything kind of comes around circle.
Yeah, it really does. I was a little girl, like a little girl. So it was probably 88 or 89 back in the air show days. And so Dad and I would come to the air shows. All my uncles are pilots and everybody's a pilot in my family. And so I knew as a little girl I wanted to be a pilot someday. And so that was just always super fascinating. But I do remember riding, what was that one that we no longer have that went around in circles like a Ferris wheel? Skydiver?
Skydiver, yep.
I remember riding Skydiver terrified as a little girl in Skydiver. Dad was terrified. So that one sticks out a lot. But yeah, just really fond memories with my dad as a little girl and far before really a lot of the rides really got here. So yeah, and then high school trips. I mean, I definitely grew up here. And but that was my fondest memory is definitely sitting there watching the air shows with Dad. So crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
And it's grown since, I mean, back in the early 2000s. I don't know if I knew a lot of people that made the trip over here from Western Washington. But now I hear all the time we still have family over there that, they're talking to people and they're going over to Silverwood. That's like their vacation for the summer. So I'm glad we're doing this because I think there's a lot of people that come for their first time.
Exactly.
And they want to experience all that Silverwood has to offer, but they're making that road trip. And where do we stop during that time, especially if you have little kids?
And those memories with those little kids like Denise. So thank you, Denise, for that question. That's a great one. We have Jackie that wrote in. She wants to know, what are the best things for older couples to do at the park and enjoy their time at Silverwood? I love that. That's a great question. And you know what's really funny is here on Saturday, I saw a lot of elderly couples in the park, and it was great. I mean, the whole hand-holding, like couple goals type stuff. And so to see elderly couples still coming in and just having the best time. And we can't say that they don't love rides.
No, I've filmed a lot of elderly couples riding Timber Tear together, riding Tremors, especially Tremors with the update now, because I know that's
helped a lot.
A big reason why they probably didn't was because of how shaky it was, which now it's so smooth. And it's not as intense as like going upside down on Aftershock or Stunt Pilot or something like that. So I would say if you can, try Tremors.
Yeah.
Tremors is probably up there.
They love the log flume too.
Log flume's a good one.
I'm always seeing, Grandma and Grandpa in the log flume having the best time ever. But of course, if you do want to relax a little bit, we got the train ride, we got the magic show,
Lazy River.
Yes, you go over to the water park side, hang out in the wave pool all day long. So definitely a lot of options.
Yeah, and I've seen not only like couples riding together, but they, grandpa takes a grandchild and they get to experience a moment together. I recorded a grandpa with his grandchild on Timber Tear a number of years back. We still use this footage. And he still talks about to this day, because I know them, about that time because his little grandson was scared, and so he was able to comfort him the whole ride, and he talks about how special that was. And now they're riding, and he's older now,
and they're riding
together still.
And now the grandson is comforting grandpa.
Yeah, exactly. The exact opposite happens.
Everything switches, right? So there are a lot of things for our older couples to do. So we hope you come out here. And I will say, I know a lot of older couples really love their RVs and doing the RV trips. We got the RV park. That's a great way to come and really enjoy the park at your own pace if you stay here for a few days.
Well, and I think you start to appreciate the little things of what this park actually does offer, which is like the gardens, the beautiful, beautiful grounds. And
The
like
birds.
the birds, but also just like the little details,
Yeah.
the food, how specially unique the food options are.
Sitting down at Lindy's and watching that, 1915 steam engine train roll in.
Yeah.
That's special. That's definitely special. So I say plan a date night and get out here, Jackie. So thank you for that question. We have Micah that wrote in. He wants to know, what's it like operating a family-owned theme park in today's amusement climate where Cedar Fair, Six Flags, and Disney and the like are dominating the market? I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, well, I think we have something special.
We really do.
Back and forth with the more national brands. It's all about like who has the biggest ride, who has the fastest ride. And for here, it's like we're family. We want things that are going to be from the eldest coming out to the park to the youngest, that they can all ride together. And so that's where I think this park really shines is like Thunder Canyon. Almost everybody can ride together. Log Flume, almost everybody can ride together.
Exactly.
And even like Tremors and Timber Terror, 42 inches.
Yeah.
My daughter rode when she was 4 years old on that.
Exactly.
And I will never forget that moment. And so we aren't in the coaster arms race. And I know like Disney and Universal, like they have some of those, but they can go all out on theming. Right here, we're just focused on the moment,
the memories,
yes,
and all the storytelling that can come with it. So, and I have to say too, it's wonderful because I almost feel like we save the classic coasters.
Yeah,
a lot of
totally.
people look at us and they're like, thank you so much for saving that coaster. Thank you so much for saving that coaster. So we're there's love that goes into this that's a little bit different than if you were with a more corporate, theme park. And so a lot of love and care goes into our decision making.
And like looking at some of these like bigger properties, they have IPs or intellectual properties that they really push. So like the Star Wars, all the Disney brands, Harry Potter, all of these that are amazing lands that are like hyper involved. But here, our goal is really to be natural, right? And so fully Northwest themed. That's why our water park is really meant to be like a national park. That's the goal, is for that to look like that. And so I think we're able to create our own type of things, our own type of memories, our own type of theming that isn't necessarily tied to anything that you might know. So you come here and you get
back in time.
You get a unique experience.
Exactly.
And going back, a trip to yesteryear was the original slogan for here. And I think that's what it is encompassing is when you come here, you don't have to have your phone in your hand all the time.
Yes, you can disconnect.
And enjoy what matters most is those memories that you'll live
family.
forever.
So there's the difference right there. I mean, it's perfect. So Micah, thank you for noticing that, and definitely a great question. So those are our questions for the week. And it's time, I say, for us to do a little randomizing of a certain number so we can call this week's loyal listener winner.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
We have a winner.
Okay, number 1610, 1,610.
Oh my gosh. That's got to be a recent one.
Must be a really recent one. And wow.
Lucky you.
We're getting up there.
Yeah.
So let's give her a call.
Hello?
Hey, is this Caleb?
This is.
Hey, Caleb, this is Sara and Jordan from the Silverwood Show Podcast here at Silverwood Theme Park. How are ya?
Holy Shit, are you serious?
I am serious. Yes, you're this week's loyal listener.
Oh my! Wow! Oh my gosh!
This
Thank
is
you.
the best
This is a great reaction.
I think we've ever gotten. So, Caleb, I love that you're excited because we're excited too. And we're going to give you a pair of tickets to the park and play a little game with you.
Sure.
Okay.
We're
going to
go
do it
quick.
fast. We'll go fast for you.
You can win
okay?
money, though.
Yeah, you can win up to $75 in Silverwood cash. All you have to tell us is if these statements are true or false, okay?
All right.
Okay. Can aftershock reach speeds of 65 miles per hour? True or false?
True.
Yes.
True. $5.
Okay, $5 in the bank. Okay. Second question or statement. Dynamite Dan has his own wanted poster in the park.
Oh, man, I've been there in forever. Yes.
That one's wrong.
That was a trick question.
If you haven't been here forever, this has only
Yeah.
been here for 2 years.
Yes.
So it's his
Big
counterpart,
Joe.
Big Joe. But anyway, we'll move on.
Okay, we're moving on fast. The true name of the lazy river is Bullhorn Creek.
No.
No? Correct.
Correct.
Oh.
Yes,
Yay.
it's Elkhorn Creek. But yes, good job.
Okay.
Moving on. You have $10.
You have $10 in the bank. You can drive a car without a license in Country Carnival.
No.
You actually can with the
look at-
antique cars. You can drive a car without a license.
Yeah, that's a little tricky trick.
Tell everyone you know. No.
Yes.
Okay, next one.
Last true false.
Silverwood roasts its own coffee on site. Silverwood roasts its own coffee on site.
Ooh, y'all got me there. True.
Yes. All
$15.
right. $15 in the bank.
Okay.
And now we have a $50 question.
So this next one's worth $50. Okay, I'm going to play a sound bite. It's a ride in Silverwood or Boulder Beach, and you get to guess what this sound bite is. I will tell you, corkscrew and tremors have been guessed, and they were both wrong. So here comes the sound bite. What ride is that?
Oof. Aftershock.
Correct. Yes, you just
Caleb,
won.
you just won $50.
Another $50. So you're at $65 and 2 tickets to Silverwood.
Nice work. Good thing you decided to take a 2-minute break.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Caleb. Hey, I'm going to leave that gift card and those tickets in will call under your name. I will give you a call after the podcast just to confirm everything with you. But yeah, 2 tickets anytime you want to use them to seize them.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
enjoy your day at work.
Yes, enjoy your day at work. Hopefully it's a little bit better for you now.
There you go.
I got a lot better.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Work outside in this heat, and
Oh,
so
gosh.
this making my bearable now.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yes,
yay.
just dream of floating around
Yes.
Elkhorn Creek.
Yes, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, I'll be screaming.
Awesome. Get back to work, Caleb.
All
Have
right,
a great
yes.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks.
Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye.
Bye.
That was the best response
You're
ever.
speechless.
Oh my
Speechless.
gosh.
That's what we do. We just make
Speechless.
people speechless.
We really, really do. Oh my gosh. My heart's happy. Well, if you want to be the next Caleb, make sure to sign up at silverwoodthemepark.com/podcast and we could be calling you next. Let's head on into the big drop.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
The Big Drop.
So, Jordan, we have a lot of visitors from
Yes.
out of town.
We
In
sure
fact,
do.
what are our most populated places that come this way? Seattle.
Seattle, Western Washington area. Portland has grown a lot.
Yeah,
so like that Portland Columbia Gorge down to Salem.
Yeah.
And then Calgary is a bigger Canadian market for us. So we're going to focus on those three.
Yeah, and some of the fun things that you can do coming from those directions. Do we start with Seattle? Since
Yeah,
that's
we start
kind
with
of
Seattle. I think we need to give a little bit. So we were thinking about this idea,
Yeah.
and we both have driven these roads a lot. Typically, when we're driving these roads, we're like, let's get to the destination. But if you want to make it more of a trip, we asked our good friend ChatGPT, what are the best stops on our way from Seattle to Coeur d'Alene, or Portland to Coeur d'Alene, or Calgary to Coeur d'Alene? So we're going to go down that list right now.
Exactly.
And then we'll throw in our 2 cents of what we like to do as well.
Yeah, exactly. So what does Chat think you should do from Seattle?
From Seattle, let me open it up. Seattle, they'll take the I-90.
Okay, yeah.
Let me find my Seattle one. Just bear with me.
I-90.
I-90, yes. So they say over Snoqualmie Pass.
Yes, absolutely.
So they say the first stop is about 45 minutes into your drive from Seattle. It's at Snoqualmie Falls.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, that waterfall is one of my all-time favorites. Easy to get to. You just park in the parking lot, you cross the bridge, and you head over there, and boom.
Yeah.
One of the most majestic waterfalls you've probably ever seen.
Yeah, and there's some great views of that waterfall. And then they say for extra, grab a coffee at the Salish Lodge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so photo worthy.
Yeah.
It's a great stop.
It is a great stop.
Yeah. And it's dog friendly. You can bring your dog to, not inside, but out to see the waterfall, just so you know.
Yeah. And then from there, they say just go to North Bend, which is right up the road from there.
Yep.
And stop. This says fans of the show Twin Peaks can stop at Tweed's Cafe for a slice of cherry pie and some TV nostalgia.
I love that.
Yeah,
I've never been. Have you been?
No, I haven't seen that show either. So
I haven't seen Twin Peaks.
I know.
Jordan.
I know. I'm getting ridiculed all over the place. But North Bend is beautiful, and so to stop there and grab some bites to eat before.
I mean, that is your stop. That's the go get your snacks before the road trip stop.
Yeah.
If anybody wants anything, you're going to please the whole family, because I think they have every fast food restaurant.
I mean, from there, your
imaginable.
the only really next stop is probably Clay Elum.
Yeah.
Once you get over the pass, so you have some time. So that's a good stop before you head over that pass.
Get your coffee.
Get your gas.
Fill up with gas.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. If you can get yourself a spot at one of the gas stations, because I know that can
That's
be a
kind
little
of
bit of a mess. Yeah. So
a general
North
rule
Bend
of thumb.
is great. And then you're headed towards Clay Elum.
Clay
Do they
Elum.
have any stops there?
They don't. They don't have a stop at Clay Elum, but they have a stop at Lake Easton State Park in Easton, Washington, which I know is right before Clay Elum.
Which is beautiful. Beautiful.
It's about 90 minutes from Seattle. Peaceful lake for picnics, quick swims, and great mountain views. That's what they say to stop.
Yeah, get out those snacks and go grab yourself a day use area and have some snacks and enjoy some fresh air and shake off those legs.
Well,
and
that whole area is just beautiful in general, so I don't think you can go wrong with any stop if it's on top of the mountain. I know they have the ski area on top of the mountain. Not in the summer, but around that area, there's lots of beautiful
What's the lake
stops.
with all the stumps?
I don't know what that
I
lake's
love
called.
that, but that's just such a cool, even just if you're
That's
driving
right
by.
after.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. So you continue in, and then
And then it says
Ellensburg.
Ellensburg is the next stop.
Yes.
If you aren't stopping at Clay Elum, Ellensburg's probably your next stop for maybe a bite to eat lunch.
There is a Mexican restaurant there that is delicious, absolutely delicious. I don't remember what it's called, but when I worked in radio and we'd take our road trips to go see concerts in Seattle, we'd always stop at this Mexican restaurant, and it's everybody's favorite. So it's the only one there.
Wow.
It's right there in that main stretch.
I think
you
I know
what
which one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
I've stopped there. So my wife's parents are over in, so my parents-in-law.
Parents-in-law.
Parents-in-law
That works, yeah.
are over in Burlington, Washington, so Mount Vernon area and Bellingham. And so sometimes we bring our daughter and we meet them halfway in Ellensburg. And we stop at that place for a quick bite to eat before they take her for a week-long vacation over there.
Yeah, it's a good little central area,
Yeah,
central
it is.
spot. So if you are meeting friends maybe on the other side of the mountains, that's where y'all meet up and head towards Silverwood. Again, stop and get your gas if you need to, get another cup of coffee, whatever's necessary. Go to Central Washington University.
That was my next. If you have any high school age kids who are looking for, college down the road, stop at Central, walk around the campus, and just I always enjoyed doing that when I was in high school, of just making sure. I mean, we flew to the East Coast, stop and looking at the college campuses over there and stuff. Fun. It's always fun to like dream of what it could be, and maybe it might be a right fit for you.
Yeah, you never know. So lots of farmland and all that. You've left the mountains, now you're in the farmland, and now you're continuing to head that direction. What's next for ChatGPT?
So they say actually at Ellensburg to stop at the Yellow Church Cafe.
Oh,
which
Yellow Church Cafe.
I've never been there.
Okay,
but
so take note.
You're welcome, Yellow Church Cafe.
Right.
Influx
Shout out.
of people. And then they say to stop at the Ginkgo Petrified Forest State Park, which is an advantage right when you're about ready to cross over the Columbia.
So I've done that.
Okay, I haven't. So tell me.
There's cooler things in Vantage.
Okay.
Let me just say that. I mean, it's cool because you can say you did it. It's basically a bunch of little boxes on a hiking trail with zero shade that have little pieces of petrified wood in them. It's meh.
Yeah. Well.
It's meh.
Okay.
But I mean, you can mark it off your list and say you saw a petrified forest. I mean, the forest used to be there.
Right.
Now it's just dirt.
I think it's more about the views of the gorge, Columbia River, all that stuff.
Does it say the horses?
Yes, because that's the next stop, which maybe we pass over the Ginkgo.
Let's just switch the Ginkgo. But there is a cool park right there. In fact, my grandparents and I used to always we had family reunions down there. And there's a great park with great swimming. Whenever I went to the gorge for a festival, we'd always go there for a little bit of swimming. So if you want to stop and maybe take a quick dip.
Sure.
If it's a nice hot summer day, that's a great place to do it. So, but then continue over that bridge. And the horses.
Just right on the other side is the Wild Horse Monument.
It's amazing.
It's literally right on the other side, and it's up on like the overpass, like looking over the river
gorge,
and all of that kind of stuff. It's
just
beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's a quick trip.
Yeah.
You
just park. You can hike up there all the way up to the horses, I believe, unless they've marked it off.
Used to. I mean, we've done it maybe a couple years ago when we were able to. But it's a great photo op for everybody.
Very much so. It's beautiful. So, and those are by a artist who is very well known. You'll have to read all the information about where those came to be, because it's actually pretty fascinating how they got those horses up there. So, and why they're there. So
that's cool. Yeah, it's very cool. And I mean, I would say that's not on here, but maybe plan your trip if you are, teenagers, 20-somethings coming over to Silverwood for the weekend. Is to plan it around one of the gorge festivals of some sort.
Oh my gosh. Or just a show. But yeah, there's nothing like the gorge. If you have not seen a show at the gorge, it's heaven. I mean, it's absolute heaven. You've never heard acoustics until you've heard music echoing off those river walls. It's unbelievable. So
I've never been.
You've never
I've
been?
Never been.
Jordan?
No. I've gone and picked someone up from there, but I've never been and watched a show there.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. So I went to Red Rocks for the first time here recently, and I can say, as very cool as Red Rocks is, I mean, a lot of people compare it to Red Rocks, and I actually do think that the gorge is better.
Well, I know some artists, they're like, we're coming here every single year.
Dave Matthews, every single Labor Day. I mean, he's there Labor Day weekend every single year. It takes up the whole weekend. So yeah, that's a really cool idea. Now make sure if you do decide to stay that you get your camping in advance. There's also Cave Bee Inn, which offers some really cool lodging, everything from you could stay in a cave and a yurt. There are these really cool tiny homes right in the midst of all the winery stuff, the vineyards and everything. And
well, yeah, and if you do that like on, say, a Friday night or a Saturday night, it's only from there about 3.5 hours to Silverwood. And so you could get up in the morning and theoretically drive out and be out here because we open at 11, right? So
yeah, that's a great midway stop, honestly, if you wanted to do that. So highly recommended. You wouldn't know it's there. Make sure to follow the signs because you're going through just like nothing.
Random,
and you'll see a little sign, a little brown sign that says Gorge Amphitheater. And you turn left and you go down I don't know if it's dirt road anymore, but you just keep going past a lone gas station, and then all of a sudden, all of this magic just breaks out. So
it's very close. It's like George, right?
Yeah, George Washington.
George,
the Gorge and George.
From there, it says Moses Lake is your next stop.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah,
I do love me some Moses Lake.
It's a great stop for any sort of food is another, and
maybe some golf. They have great golfing.
They do have good golfing. Stop at the lake.
Yeah, fishing. They have great fishing, Moses Lake. So lots of great little stops right there. And if you just love farms, there's a lot of farms. really cool farms.
Yeah, especially
play a little game of like guess what crop that is.
Guess that crop.
Yeah. My dad and I do it all the time.
Well, and if you're traveling in the winter, they have like the little Christmas light displays as you drive down there. So done that a lot as well.
Yes.
But typically, if you're driving out here, you're not in the winter.
Yeah. So Moses Lake.
Now it's guess that crop.
Yes.
And from Moses Lake, there's not a lot in between there and Spokane. Spokane would be your next stop.
A big straight stretch of highway. So do stop in Moses Lake, stretch your legs because it gets a little boring.
Yeah, and you have Ritzville through there that you could stop and get some gas or a bite to eat.
Yeah.
But Spokane's the next big stop. And Spokane, I mean, Riverfront Park is probably the most notorious, I guess, area for just like enjoying and hanging out.
Yeah.
Especially if you're coming out for like Hoop Fest or anything like that. Like you're going to be downtown Spokane.
Oh yeah, Hoop Fest is coming up.
It sure is, yeah.
So there's a good stop for sure. Big Red Wagon, they've got the one stadium, they've got the pavilion, all the different things. So there's concerts now at the pavilions. You can actually go see a show under the pavilion and the lights light up with the music. It's super cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's really, really neat. So a lot of cool things to do down there.
A lot of things in Spokane. I mean, you have all your shopping, but then you finally get to Coeur d'Alene, and typically people are staying in Coeur d'Alene, or if you're coming out and you're staying at an RV park. But you can take your time to get here. If you don't have to get to the park, I mean, it's only from Seattle.
Yeah.
It's at 4 hours and 45 minutes to get to Silverwood specifically.
Wow.
So it's not that
That's
bad.
nothing.
No, it's not bad at all. And so you can take your time if you have nowhere to be in a hurry.
Make quite the little road trip out of it for sure. Lots of camping along the way too. If you're a camper, I mean, you name it. So,
and this has a little bonus scenic detour chat does.
Scenic detour.
Which would be to take the Palouse Scenic Byway.
Oh, I agree. Go Cougs.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
And if you're coming from Seattle, you might not want to do that.
Or maybe you do because, you've heard so much about how great Pullman is.
Yeah.
And, but I will say this.
That's all we talk about in Seattle is how great Pullman is.
Of course you do. Of course you do. There is one really cool hike that you can literally just see the rolling hills of grain. Just like the song.
And that's what it talked about. Yeah, is rolling hills and wheat fields, super photogenic, especially golden at sunset.
Yes, it's unbelievable.
It is very pretty.
And another college campus that you could potentially go stop at because, go Cougs. It is really pretty. You're coming over those wheat fields and there's just all of this brick that just appears out of nowhere. And there's just something special about pulling into Pullman.
Or you could just go the normal way and stop like at Gonzaga.
There's that too.
Eastern Washington University and Cheney. There's a lot of areas that we can go.
They do have the red field, which is really cool.
Yes, the Inferno.
Yes, it's very cool. So, but Pullman.
Okay, so if she convinced you, you could go that way.
And
it's going to add some time.
Oh my gosh, go to Cella's and go get yourself a calzone, and it's going to change your life for the better.
Okay, we're preparing for Silverwood. Okay.
You need a calzone for
the next place is we're going to come from Portland.
Portland, my favorite. This is my favorite road trip.
This is your favorite road trip?
Ever.
I want you to tell me what you would do, and I will see if you're right or wrong via chat.
Well, I'm going to obviously start in Portland. If you're in one of the beach towns, you're going to obviously come up that way and then go through Portland. But as you leave Portland, you're hitting that Columbia River Gorge. Now, I'm going to preface this with I know that there was a recent fire there. And so please be aware of your surroundings and things that are going on. There might be some things closed that I'm not aware of since that fire. But on a normal day-to-day, if there wasn't a fire that just happened at Rowena Crest, you'd continue. A lot of people stop at Multnomah Falls.
Multnomah Falls is on the list.
Yes, that's a very popular one. And it is. It's absolutely stunning. There's a really cool hike. You can go up to the Upper Falls. Also, great place to stop and get some food and coffee and everything like that. But I don't always stop there.
Where do you stop?
There's a lot of crowds at Multnomah, and there are waterfalls that are just as cool, if not cooler, along that old historic Columbia Gorge Highway. So take a little time. It's very curvy, very narrow at parts, but that drive is unlike anything. And there are waterfalls. There's a whole waterfall drive, and you can stop at every single waterfall. Most of them you can actually see from the road. There are some that are really, really cool hikes.
Yeah.
And you could see, I think there's tons and tons of waterfalls, but I think just from the road, you can see up to like 7 just
You can see a lot.
Drive.
I know when we drive that road, we're always like, okay, whoever can point out the most waterfalls wins.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I went to college outside of Portland.
Yeah.
And we took a trip to just past Multnomah.
Yeah.
I think it was Angel Falls. And there's a peak that, and as a basketball team, we ran up to the top.
You ran up that?
Yeah, it was rough.
That is rough.
But it was beautiful from up there.
Yeah.
And then we, as a team, we jogged back down. But I always remember that because it was so beautiful. We could have gone further, but we decided we're going to stop right here and just look over the gorge. It's beautiful.
And see everything. And there's the lookout there, the old viewpoint, which is just incredible. I will say if you want to add a hike, say you're an outdoorsy person, a lot of people really do love, stopping for a bigger hike. Tunnel Falls is by far one of the most spectacular hikes I've ever done in my life. It's a little bit longer. Okay, a lot longer, but it's worth it because it's pretty much flat. But you're going to see some of the most incredible things along this hike. And the falls, you can actually walk through a tunnel, like behind them. It's one of the most incredible.
You see the backside of water?
Backside of water.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's actually 2 waterfalls you can do that in the gorge. But Eagle Creek, it was burned. It was another place that was burned. It's coming back. It's so luscious. They just reopened it here just a few years ago, maybe a couple of years ago. And it's one of the most incredible hikes. And there's multiple waterfalls along the way. So that's my recommendation.
There you go. If you're coming to Silverwood from Portland, start early and get a hike in.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Do some waterfall chasing.
Yes,
waterfall chasing.
Okay.
And
where are you going from there?
Once I complete
Because I don't know if you're going to hit this next one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
ahead.
so continuing, I would say Rowena. Unfortunately, that's what burned, so that's not going to happen. So we're going to continue through and go into Hood River.
Okay, this has something in between there.
In between there.
Yeah, so this says to stop at Bonneville Dam. And the fish hatchery.
Can I? Oh, and I can't believe I forgot.
Okay, go.
The Bridge of the Gods.
Okay.
You have to go to Bridge of the Gods, and if you have, I've done a full half marathon there. This bridge is incredibly special to me.
People aren't even going to be able to make it out of the gorge. They're going to make it to the Dalles and be like, the day's over.
And you're going to think it's just a toll bridge. This is so much more than a toll bridge. And if any of the listeners out there have seen the movie Wild with Reese Witherspoon, it was based on a woman named Cheryl Strayed, who's my favorite author. And Cheryl Strayed hiked the PCT all the way from down in Mexico all the way up. And that's where she finished her trek on the PCT.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So go watch that movie. Go visit the Bridge of the Gods. I literally have cried every time I went there because it is just such an emotional place. It's beautiful. And you can stay in the Bridge of the Gods Inn right there. And they have a restaurant right across the street that has some of the best seafood you've ever had. And it's one of these little outdoor areas. It's teeny tiny. You go in, you buy your fish and everything. And they have this like chowder that
how far is that off?
Change your life.
84.
It's right there.
It's right out right there.
Okay. Yeah. It's a toll bridge. So if you do take the toll bridge, you keep going. There's also a bunch of really great camping and a really cool hike on the Washington side as well.
Oh, so you're going. Gotcha. Okay.
So the toll is for going into Washington there.
Yeah, and going over to 14, something like that. That goes over from Vancouver all the way to. Yeah.
I don't know my area very well, but you just go up through there and there's more waterfalls that direction and it's just absolutely stunning. But okay, so continuing. Bonneville Dam is
Bonneville
cool.
Dam and Fish Hatchery.
You can see the sturgeon.
That's what sturgeon, the size of a canoe.
Yes.
And watch salmon climb the fish ladders.
Oh my gosh, and little kids love the sturgeon because you can go up, there's a window. Yeah. And you can literally go face to face with them.
Right. My father-in-law used to, I believe he's a fish biologist. And so he would be around that area and he talked about a famous sturgeon that lived there.
Yep.
And so I have yet to do it, but that is part of it. I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Usually we're just like on a trek. And so we have family friends that live in the Dalles. And so we usually stop there.
Okay.
And so.
Oh, bring Quinn. Seriously. It is so cool. And you get to feed the fish. All sorts of different things you can do there. So
we'll stop there on our way through to Cannon Beach next time.
Yes. And then you're in Hood River.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Just go to one of the breweries, sit on the balcony, and watch the windsurfers because that in itself is super cool. You've got this beautiful, beautiful view of Mount Hood in the background. It's just towering. And let me tell you, you can't go wrong with the food anywhere in Hood River. Like, oh my gosh, there's some really great restaurants. Just pick one. You'll be fine. Yeah, it's amazing. Great shopping, great everything, great spot to stay if you wanted to stay. Maybe try some windsurfing.
So you're basically ChatGPT right now because everything you just said was about Hood River. Charming river town known for windsurfing, craft beer, and farm fresh cider. Perfect lunch stop.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, chat.
You are. Who needs chat when you got
needs
Sara
chat when you got
Jean?
me? So yeah, this is my specialty. And yes, very, very, very cool spot. And then you continue into the Dalles.
Yeah, the Dalles is the next on the spot, which is really close to Hood River. There's some stuff to do in the Dalles.
There's a state park there with another hidden waterfall. See if you
all
can go
about
find
that.
it.
Go find it.
And
Secrets.
it's completely different. So it's so funny because the Dalles is kind of desert. And then you get to Hood River and it's more deeply forested. So there's a switch in the ecosystem there. And so if you go see this waterfall in the Dalles, it's more of a desert waterfall, which is actually really cool. A lot of people wouldn't ever think you'd find a waterfall there. So go to the state park there and check out that waterfall. Short hike, super easy. And a picnic area.
Great.
So
The
continue.
Dalles. And now we're going where?
Okay, so you continue on the Dalles, and then, there's that really cool spot with all the trees, the tree farm.
I don't know this one. This one isn't on my list.
There's I think they're either aspen trees or what's the other kind that looks like
birch?
an aspen? Yeah, and there's a whole tree farm, and it's so cool to just pull off, and you can take some pictures and whatnot. Continuing on, I mean, there's not a lot until Tri-Cities,
Right.
at that point.
Right. I mean, one thing you could do is you could go a little bit further and go into Pendleton.
Oh my gosh, the woolen mill.
Yes, that's on here. Yep.
I may have spent way too much money there because I got lost thinking I was going into Tri-Cities and I missed my exit.
Yeah,
and all of a
that's
sudden,
easy to do because they have the Umatilla.
So easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Umatilla.
Umatilla.
And then all of a sudden you're in Pendleton, Oregon.
Yeah.
And that's where they have the Pendleton Roundup.
Yep, that's another key factor for the. Well, I don't know when that actually is, but
I want to say it's in August.
I know it's summertime,
So you could plan a trip around that.
Yes.
I mean, if you love your country stuff, Pendleton is where it's at.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I kept going, and all of a sudden I was at the woolen mill, and I just was like, well, if you're here, you might as well go in. And $300 later, I had the coolest, most incredible wool blanket that I will keep for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
So yeah, fun memories there. But go back and go back and then go
Go
to
back,
Tri-Cities,
and then go up to Tri-Cities, which is a great stop for your gas and your food and all that kind of stuff.
And there's some great swimming and beaches and all of that. Lots of bridges.
Three rivers come together, and
it can be a bit confusing. So maybe as you're coming into Tri-Cities, if you're someone like my dad, map it out because there's some places as you're trying to get onto.
It's quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like all of a sudden you're exiting, crossing traffic, and it can be frustrating.
The last time we were there driving. My wife was driving, and she doesn't typically drive through this area.
Yeah.
And so we missed a road, and then we went all the way around and to come back in. So Kennewick,
and it takes some time,
Kennewick to Richland and out to Spokane.
Yes. And just take a deep breath.
Yes.
As you're entering. And then you're heading towards Spokane.
Then once you hit Ritzville, that's when you hit on to I-90 over to Spokane, which is we've already
where we
talked
left
about.
off with Seattle. Yeah.
This has a little optional scenic drive, which would go through Joseph and Wallowa Lake. Adds about an hour to 2 hours, but then you would head up through Hell's Canyon. And up to Moscow, which way you would be able to go see.
Go Cougs and University of Idaho.
Moscow is only University of Idaho.
I mean,
I know it's
only
close.
like 8 miles from
We're
Pullman.
not crossing over to Pullman at this point. We're in Moscow. And then we're going to go up to Sandpoint. And no, this is Sandpoint. Yeah, Sandpoint is another option, but that would you have to drive through.
Through and around.
And around. We'll talk more about Sandpoint on our next trip.
Yeah. Okay, that's very cool. But Hell's Canyon is amazing. Great rafting, great fishing.
Unbelievable rafting. That's like the place.
Yeah, if you want to do some crazy things before you get on your crazy roller coasters, hop on a raft in Hell's Canyon. So.
And the next stop.
Calgary.
Calgary coming south to Idaho.
Yeah.
To Silverwood. We're going to start in Calgary. Have you been to Calgary?
So in August, I'm going to Calgary. I'm taking a little.
For the first time, or you've been there before?
I've been there. I almost. Mom and Dad and I took a trip up to Calgary, Edmonton, and that's the wave pool I almost drowned in. Was at the Edmonton Mall.
I've been in that one.
So terrifying. Yeah, wave pools are scary, man. But so I was a little girl. But so I'm kind of recreating this trip a little bit. Going to Calgary. I'm going to see Lainey Wilson. At the not at the Stampede, she's at the Saddle Dome.
Okay, so, which is the Stampede, but not during not the actual Stampede.
Stampede's outside Saddle Domes indoors. Yeah, yes. And I'm staying in a very cool Airbnb right next to the tower, the Calgary Tower, and walking distance. And so it's going to be really, really cool. And then I'm going to take a little road trip through Banff, up to Jasper, and then I'm going to come back down through
Lake Louise and all that stuff. Yep.
I'm staying at what's the lake next to Lake Louise?
I don't know. Lake Louise.
Yeah. So there's another lake right next to it, and the road's shut down to it right now. And I'm going to be staying right there on that lake, which is really, really cool. So, but yeah, so I need some of these recommendations for my trip.
Yeah.
As I'm coming back down and exploring. There's so many national parks and whatnot out there.
I've actually been to Calgary quite a bit because for Silverwood, we would go up and do a trade show at the Outdoor and Adventure Show in Calgary. Which was in that like Stampede area, and we've also gone all the way up to Edmonton for a show, and so but we're gonna start at Calgary. I'm gonna have to work back. So my first time actually traveling to Calgary was like 2013.
Okay.
I want to say it was 2013, and I did not have GPS.
Oh, this is when you got lost and ended up in Banff.
I got lost, yes, and I took the wrong. I missed the turn to go to Crow's Nest Pass.
Okay.
And I went through Banff, and the whole time I was taking photos because like this place is unbelievable. So it's not the most direct path.
Yeah.
But if you go, if you have some time, go through Banff and staying in Banff and looking at the shops in Banff is beautiful, amazing. And so haven't made it up to Lake Louise.
Yeah, yeah.
But Radium Hot Springs is there too, and we stopped there and on our way down.
And the Icelands Parkway.
I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh, Iceland's Parkway is right there past Banff. That's the one that goes up to Jasper. But Iceland's Parkway is where all the glaciers and all the cool things
Okay, cool.
are. Yeah, so I'm camping out there.
So the chat route says if you want to go, optional detour is through Banff and Canmore, and it says Lake Minnewanka. Lake Minnewanka is a place to grab coffee in town or stop at Lake Minnewanka.
Interesting. Okay, I'm putting that on my list. Minnewanka.
So just outside Calgary, south, you have the Okotoks. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Okotoks.
I like it, yeah, too. But that's where Heartland was filmed, which is on, I think you can watch it on Netflix.
Yeah,
but we
I've been watching it.
We watched it a lot. That was filmed around that area.
Interesting.
So
Fun fact.
Okay. But south, you would go Crow's Nest Pass, which
is where you were supposed to go.
Where you're supposed to go.
You do realize it's your fault that I'm going to Banff, right? Because it was you telling me the story about how you got lost that inspired me to do this trip.
But if you're going to miss Crow's Nest Pass, which has the Frank slide, which is a huge rock slide that basically covered the road, and like you can get out and read about it. It's like you can see the mountain and they show the mountain from before and after, and how the rocks are just everywhere.
Crazy.
It is crazy to walk on.
Okay.
But that whole area is cool because like you have like tons of just mountains jetting up, like the Crow's Nest Mountain, whatever.
Maybe
I think
that's
it's
the way
called.
I'll go up to Calgary
and then come back through the Banff.
Through
the Banff.
The Banff.
And then Fernie, BC is a really cool little spot, and they have a nice. I think they have a ski resort up there. But it's a good spot to stop, get gas, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Food, and then as you come into the British Columbia interior, that's what it says. Cranbrook is a close spot, and you can really find anything in Cranbrook. We have a lot of people that come down from Cranbrook because it's really close to us. It's probably like 2 hours from
really
here.
Close,
Not too bad.
Does it have like Ainsworth Hot Springs or Nelson?
It doesn't. Nelson's
Lake
a little further
Osoyoos.
west. I think I'm going there.
Oh my gosh, Lake Osoyoos and the Lake Osoyoos monster.
I don't. Ooh, that sounds scary.
No, he's a nice one. Kind
He's
of
a nice
like
one? Not like Nessie.
Well, he's like Nessie.
Just like Nessie.
Just like Nessie.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and he's no, I swear. And when I was a little girl, I saw him.
We need to do a whole podcast on lore of the area because we have Bigfoot.
That's
this
a good
one.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we probably wouldn't. It would probably be like a 5-minute episode.
Yeah. No, there's more. I've got.
Maybe we invite Sasquatch to sit in on a podcast.
I like that. Okay, so, and then you're continuing.
Okay, we're continuing down, and that's where you're like right before you cross the border that says Lake, man, this is a hard name to pronounce. Try to pronounce this.
Okay.
KOOCANUSA.
Kukanusa?
Exactly. Lake Koocanusa.
Lake Koocanusa.
It says crystal clear water and quiet beaches, great place to stretch your legs and swim. Right, and that's right before crossing the U.S. border.
Okay. And which border crossing is this?
Kingsgate.
Kingsgate. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't forget your passport, it says.
Yes.
Good
Don't
point.
forget any of that stuff. So, yeah.
And then coming down, you have Bonners Ferry, which is like the first town that you
Can we stop at a waterfall?
This is just all about. We're just all
one
about waterfalls. Just
This
a little
is a great
TLC,
waterfall.
all about waterfalls.
Yeah, go chasing waterfalls on your next Silverwood trip, and
Yeah.
it'll prepare you for all the water slides and water coasters.
Okay, perfect.
See,
What is it?
That's my segue. There is an amazing waterfall right past the border. Like literally, you come across the border, you turn left, and there is a waterfall it's Copper Falls. Look for Copper Falls. It's
Copper
unbelievable.
Falls.
It's a short little half-mile hike. Bring some bear spray.
Good call.
And you can go below the falls. You can go above the falls. There's beautiful, just wooden bridges.
Well, and this says there's Kootenai National Wildlife Refuge.
Oh,
is
that's
nearby.
one of my favorite spots. However, I have to. They are actually closing. They just closed down beginning of June due to they're doing some restructuring to re-liven the wildlife habitat. And so it is actually going to be closed this summer.
So scratch that. Do that next year.
So scratch that. However, I do believe they're leaving the waterfall trails open. So if you do go to the wildlife refuge, you can't do the drive, but you can still go see Snow Creek Falls. There's Upper Falls, Lower Falls, also a very short, easy hike. Absolutely beautiful. And you can get right up there to these waterfalls. So one of my favorite places to go. So
and around there's the natural water slide, right? That's
by
what Priest.
Lake. Yeah. So if you decide to do a side trip to Priest, that's actually a little bit longer because you have to go down and then back up.
Scenic bypass.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes,
I guess it's not even a
slides.
bypass. Scenic route. Back up.
Yeah, exactly. But so many things in Northern Idaho. I mean, we could go on, and then Sandpoint.
Well, that's where it ends with Sandpoint. Is so Sandpoint is right on the Lake Pend Oreille.
Yes.
Which, if you see a sign that looks like it says Pend Oreille,
that's Pend Oreille.
It's actually Pend Oreille. It's French.
Yes. We're all French here. Our French Canadian friends.
Yes.
So yeah, and that's one of the most beautiful lakes.
Well, and it's huge,
massive,
just massive. So lots of camping around that area. Downtown Sandpoint has a lot of really fun little breweries or spots and shops.
Oh my gosh, go get the ice cream. Get the honeycomb ice cream. There's an ice cream shop downtown Sandpoint.
Okay.
And it has actual the honeycombs in it.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
And then it was sandy beaches. We called Sandpoint.
Sandpoint.
And public beach.
Actual sandy beach. It's the coolest thing with the lifeguard stations, the whole entire thing. And there's the Bridge Market, which is my favorite place.
Yes.
That's got thrift stores and fun little gift stores. And they have a candy shop that is going to change your life. Let me tell you. Oh my gosh. The different types of chocolate dipped everything. Amazing.
Okay.
And if you want to try some Chipotle pickle chamoy cotton candy, they have that too.
Well, and then if you want to get stretch your legs, which might be a good time, or it might be actually your stop to stay.
Yeah,
would be in Sandpoint.
A lot of people stay in Sandpoint
Because Silverwood's probably 30 minutes away from Sandpoint.
About 40. About 40.
Between 30 and 40. Yeah. So you could stay in Sandpoint and come on down, but walking the Long Bridge, it's a good walking path all the way across this huge
or ride
bridge.
A bike.
Or ride a bike. Do all that stuff. Or head up to Schweitzer. You can do some really good biking up in that area.
What's that thing where you can go and you can have lunch up there and come back down too? You can take
you can ride the no, it's not a gondola, it's a ski lift. You can take the ski lift up to the top, and then there's food up there. And we did that, or you can around the Sandpoint Festival, those time frames.
Yeah.
So that's that's your staying point,
Tons
spend some
of things
time
to do.
And then come down to Silverwood and enjoy your day, and then go back and enjoy the nightlife up there.
Yeah. The Hive, great concerts. Seen many concerts at the Hive. I saw lots of movies there at the Pendita Theater, which is all basically run by donations, which is really, really cool. The Sandpoint community is very, very close-knit, very, very loving, and it's a very cool place.
Yeah, very outdoorsy too. Lots of stuff to do.
All sorts of
but other than that, we've made it 3 different ways to
and now we're
Silverwood.
here at Silverwood. So now what?
Now what?
Have the best day ever.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here, and you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Well, now we got to do this.
Inside scoop.
Inside scoop.
And what are our inside scoops going to be?
Let's talk about, I don't know, what do you think?
Like our favorite stop, personally, of all the stops?
Of all the stops, what's the one thing that you cannot miss?
Okay.
And I would say, if you're coming from all three areas, right, you're all going to land either in Sandpoint, Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing, or Spokane, one thing that you can't miss in the general local area during your visit besides Silverwood?
Besides Silverwood, I'm going to say, I mean, I would have to stick with Priest.
Okay.
Honestly, Priest is by far one of my most favorite places in the whole entire world.
I've never been up to Priest.
Oh my,
I know,
Jordan. Are we going to have to take like a staff field trip or something? I think this might need to happen. Priest is incredible. The water is just getting warm right now.
Define warm.
Warm enough to swim in because it's cold, because it's fed by glacial lakes.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Define warm.
Glacial streams.
It's not like the lazy river here, because the lazy river here is warm.
Yeah, it's not that warm, but it's beautiful, and boating is beautiful. My personal favorite is Hills Resort. You can go get yourself a huckleberry shake, maybe get some lunch. I had the best steak sandwich when I was there last time with a huckleberry shake. It was so good. And if you go on the other side, there's Kavanaugh's Resort, which is also amazing. And there's a little airstrip, and you can watch the planes come and go. And also a lot of hiking, a lot of waterfalls. It just, you name it. And the water is some of the cleanest, clearest water I think you've ever seen in your life. So it's incredible. And let me just say this about Hills.
Okay.
You're sitting there, you're eating lunch. There's a big beach, like sandy beach with beach volleyball. It's dog friendly, so that always makes me happy because there's dogs just running amok everywhere. And there's all of the boats. There's the boat dock or whatever. And behind the boats are the big, giant, what mountain range is that? I don't even know.
Like
but
the Rockies?
Some of the most beautiful mountains. No, I think it's whatever one Scotchman Peak is in. But yeah, it's incredible. And
it's kind of probably all the Rockies coming through there.
But white-capped mountains. And then you've got the blue water, the boats, everybody playing beach volleyball, and then the green grass. And it's just this, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think a place like that actually existed. So, and they have great oyster shooters.
That's a good tip. I'll have to take that tip.
Yeah, you really should. And you can stay there. So you can just go for a day trip, which is so much fun. My friend from Arizona came a couple weeks ago. We went there, and she couldn't believe. I mean, here's a desert girl. And she's like, wait, there's snow in the mountains, but it's like 90 degrees right now. And so it's great. And they have live music there on the weekends. Go cut a rug. Yeah. It's great.
I think we didn't cover this.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about it in the past. But if I was going to say one thing of a day trip from Coeur d'Alene, after your Silverwood expense, whatever, maybe you have an extra day, is to take a trip east and go to Kellogg and Wallace.
Oh, yeah.
Ride the gondola up to Silver Mountain and enjoy that area as well, because that area is beautiful. You have all the silver mining and all that kind of stuff over in Wallace. There's a lot to do all over the area, but that area specifically, then you have the Hiawatha Trail, which is the most unbelievable bike trail I've ever seen.
Yeah. To ride a bike over a train bridge.
Mostly because it's all downhill. And so,
unless you decide to go both ways.
Unless you try to decide to go both ways. I would recommend take the shuttle back up.
Yeah.
So
my friends saw bears on that trail.
Yeah.
But not mean. I mean, they were just cute little baby bears just crossing the trail. But I mean, the wildlife is incredible.
Really, really cool. Yeah.
And there's Polanski Tunnel Trail out there too, if you want a short hike, which brings you through some of those old.
Yeah, we should just name this Chasing Waterfalls and hiking the Northwest, because that's pretty much what it was.
I mean, and that's why we're up here, and that's why Silverwood is the epitome of the Northwest.
Yeah.
the Northwest's best.
Northwest best and largest.
Yeah. So come on out. You have no excuses now. So I think we've
That
covered
wraps it.
everything
Yes.
and then some. So again, if you want to be a loyal listener, if you got any questions, any comments, make sure to sign up at silverwoodthemepark.com/podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on this week's ride. Thanks for tuning in to the Silverwood Show. If you had a blast, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share the fun with your fellow thrill seekers. Got a question, story, or suggestion? Send it our way to podcast@silverwoodthemepark.com for a chance to be featured in our Mail Train segment. Until next time, keep your hands and feet inside the podcast and stay thrilling.
Let's go again! Silverwood, come join the fun.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.